What's up? Welcome back to the Ronnie's channel. I'm Mara.
And I'm Tony.
Today we're taking you behind the scenes of the 2025 Providence Road races, where we're kicking off our journey to becoming road masters.
I ran the full marathon and Mara ran the half. There was also a 5K on the same day and a virtual option for all three distances.
We will upload an individual video for each experience soon. But Tony, what are we showing today?
In this video, we will dive right into the nitty-gritty of everything you need to know about these races, from the event details, courses, medals, and local recommendations, to a new staple we want to include, a P.A.S.T.A rating. More on that later.
All right, here we go. The 2025 Providence Road races were held on May 4th, 2025. May the force be with you. Throughout scenic neighborhoods and parks of Providence, Rhode Island, where we live.
Packet pickup dates were May 2nd and 3rd on Knights of Columbus Hall. Keep in mind that there is no race day beep pickup unless you have reserved these in advance, so make sure you double check the difference in time and location from the two previous days.
We went on Friday and you could already feel the race weekend vibes with all the merch and vendors at Columbus Hall. There was a different table for those running the Roadmaster series, and you needed your ID or a QR code sent previously to your email in order to pick up your stuff.
Here we show you the starting times of each race, and yes, this was a Boston qualifying event.
In the emails we received weeks before the races, the parking lot situation was emphasized a bunch, so we would like to mention it here. The road racers organizers did a great job at staying on point with allocating proper space and making shuttles available for both runners and spectators, since it was not possible to park at the starting and finishing point. We encouraged you to keep an eye on the details of the year you run this event for the specifics between the parking lots and how close the shuttles take you to and from them. Shuttles ran continuously between Lyon Avenue and Ballpoint Park from 5 a.m. to 2 p.m. with a break between 7 a.m. and 8:30 a.m. for race starts.
Moving on, here we show the limit times for each race, with an early start option available if needed. You could run with a pace group in both the full and half marathon. Also, a novelty for us with these races that all pictures taken by the on-course photographers were free to view, download, and share. Now, for the post-race awards, all finishers of a full and half marathon receive a medal, and individual awards were given to the top overall and each age group.
There were 10 aid stations that included water, food, and restrooms. For food, they had bananas and goose, and they also had limited first aid supplies like Vaseline, Band-Aids, and cramp creams, which is something we had not seen before during a race.
The highly energetic post-race party was held in the parking lot right at the finish line with music, food, and a recovery area. As runners, we had one complimentary beer from Whaler's Brewery at the beer garden and free post-race massage from Papa's OPT Physical Therapy.
And now for the bling. The 2025 medals have a nautical theme with a muscular merman holding a trident on a blue and yellow color scheme showing an anchor and row border. Both medals hang from thick, colorful ribbons, as you can see here.
Local recommendations. So, as we have mentioned before, we live here in Providence. The recommendations we have for this video are places that we visit frequently and highly encourage you to do so as well. They include Plant City. If you, like Mara, follow a plant-based diet, you cannot miss this. It's a plant-based food hall and marketplace. They have different menu zones and a coffee bar. Wildflower, Mara's favorite plant-based bakery and cafe. They always have interesting options for cookies and brownies. Bold Coffee. This is my favorite coffee spot in town. I always order the hot latte with honey, and I also recommend their coffee beans for home. And Track 15. We had brunch after our races here, and it was perfect for what we need. It's a recently opened local food hall that offers meals from 7 different vendors and a bar.
Alright, last but not least, we want to introduce a new segment for race videos like these, which we have called a P.A.S.T.A rating. We want to start reviewing all our races going forward based on 5 tasty ingredients: people, aid stations, swag, terrain, and a final rating of the race. Tony, would you like to kick started?
For sure. First, for people, I'm sad to say that I will give it a 3 out of 5. I didn't feel the support I felt in other races, mainly because there were big stretches of the course that were empty.
All right, I will give it a 4 because the moments that were crucial for me personally, for example, the last .1 of the 13.1, the uphills and the cheering was amazing. I felt like I was a celebrity and everybody was cheering, and some people called me by my name, and it was just amazing. It made me feel great. But I deducted a point because I feel that I was expecting a lot more people to be around. I thought it was going to be a bigger event, and maybe that's on me. So just FYI.
Great, 8 stations. I didn't like the taste of the electrolyte fluids they were giving, and they were big stretches with no 8 stations. I was expecting to have an 8 station every mile, and that was not the case. But I do have to recognize that the people in the 8 stations were amazing.
I give it a 3 because I am used to seeing more 8 stations in a race like this than we had today. There were only 10 for a 26-mile stretch, and obviously I didn't run the full marathon, but for example, I saw my first 8 station around my mile 4, and I don't know, I just felt a little bit alone sometimes. I did like that they had the first aid supplies. Unlike other races, we had not seen that before, so that was great.
Alright, swag. I will give it a 4.5. I like the medal and the color of the shirt. I don't give the medal a 5 just because it doesn't have any cool features, so I'll reserve the 5 for another medal.
That's fair. I'll give it a 4. I really like the colors and the nautical theme. The ribbon, I think it looks great, and the color of the t-shirt, I think it was also nice. But for some reason, and I know that this is a very personal take, the merman kind of freaks me out sometimes when I look at it, both on the t-shirt and on the medal. So I'll just give it a 4.
Fair point. Now, the terrain or course. I will give it a 3.5. I am being very picky in this regard because we live in Providence and we know the area, and I would have liked the course to have been more scenic. I would have loved the course to have gone through downtown Providence or the College Hill, the more significant areas of Providence. I do have to recognize that the Blackstone Boulevard was great, and also I have to acknowledge the struggle that they had with the Washington Bridge issues, and I know that the organizer had to change this course, and without making these changes there would have been no race. So I of course I acknowledge of that, but overall I'll still will prefer if for next year they still change up a bit of the course.
Yeah, I give it a 4.5, mainly because of Blackstone Boulevard. I think it was great. It was mostly flat. It has some elevations and descents sometimes, but there was a fair ratio of uphills and downhills for me. And the construction area at the end, it was a bit confusing. I remember that almost reaching mile 10, there were some signs on the road, like on the pavement for the arrows that we had to follow, that they were confusing, and I almost crossed the wrong way, and somebody had to guide me because the construction zone, which I know is no fault for the organizers, it was just a bit different.
And our final rating for this race, we give it a 3.5 out of 5. We recognize that this was very well organized, we like the communication, and of course we love this city. We also applaud the effort of all the volunteers and the organization for putting off this event. But on the other side, we also recognize that the route could have been better, and also the crowd was a bit lacking, the vibe was not all the way there. So we take some points from there. We have high expectations that this event continues to develop, and hopefully next year with some improvement it becomes an even better event, and we will be cheering for this because, as we said, we will love nothing more but to Providence to have a great marathon and half marathon next year.
Thank you, Road Races and its volunteers, for the incredible effort and dedication. We will see you at our next Road Masters event on June 28th.
Please like, subscribe, and comment below if you have any custom ideas, and hit the notification bell below to continue this journey with us.
The Runnies out.